Good morning, everyone, and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name is Fred Weaver. I'm joined by my partner, Kevin Kauffman. We're Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team. Hey, I brought my friend Brian Gubernick back here today with Home Helper Consultants out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and I think you want to talk a little bit around escalations today. Now, some of the folks we probably scared yesterday just a little bit, but I really think that was a great episode. And for those of you that might have shut your computer off early, you got to think I could bring Kevin back. At least I got Brian here. So hey, wow. Brian, let's talk for a minute around some escalations. I know that for some of our viewers out there, I like to talk about my extreme stories, and I'm probably a little bit more extreme than others.
No, you're definitely probably one of the most aggressive negotiators, jump the gun type guys I know. I respect that.
Okay.
Because it takes that sick personality.
And maybe we're not talking about escalation. Maybe we should talk about not needing to escalate. I mean,
let's talk about pre-escalation.
Okay.
Let's talk about pre-escalation.
Okay.
Prior to having to take it to that next level.
I like it.
All right. So I guess we're talking about we called into the bank.
Calling into the bank.
We're working on one of our files.
Let's just say we're working to get a negotiator to submit our file for approval, and that's always so tough because trying to figure out do they actually have the ability to submit it for approval and think? Do they have they have all the paperwork? Can I even get a hold of them? Talk to us around what some of your initial conversation is like with the negotiator.
Okay, I guess for my guys, my team, what I'm constantly talking about is asking questions. Asking questions. You get somebody on the phone. Let's ask questions. When I say ask questions, do you know who the investor is on this file? Okay, if they tell us it's Fannie or Freddie, now we know what. It's government backed. It's probably going to take longer.
6% commissions.
Hopefully, it should be 6% commissions based on their guidelines. Is there mortgage insurance involved? We know there's mortgage insurance involved. If you've done enough short sales, you know you're probably in for a battle. You also know you're in for a lengthy wait.
Yep.
Potentially. You also know you're probably going to have to escalate at some point, or you may have to go around the negotiator to the MI, right?
Yep.
But ask questions. Are they delegated? Does the bank have the ability to make that decision on behalf of the lender? Delegation. That means they can make the call instead of having to go to the investor and ask for their approval, which could take days, it could take weeks, and I think we've both seen it unfortunately take more than weeks, months.
So rather than have just the negotiator tell you how the process is going to work, what is your main reason behind asking questions?
Well, as we're asking questions, one, we're gathering information clearly so we can determine what direction we're going to take that file. But two, in asking questions, we're building rapport. There's a good chance that we're going to have to talk with that individual one more time, 3 more times, maybe 7 more times before we get that approval letter. We want to build rapport with that individual, so when we're calling back, hey, it's Brian calling again, just calling to check on that Kauffman file or whatever that file is. Hopefully they know who you are. If they know who you are, that means your file's now out of the stack of 400 sitting on that desk.
Yeah.
So build rapport. Keep in mind, we talk about this a lot. Keep in mind, and I know you might feel differently.
No, I'm okay.
These are honest, genuine people, at least I hope, on the other end of the line.
The majority of them are. I know I crack fun at them sometimes. But
many of them are incompetent, don't get me wrong. But I like to think, at least going in, that they're decent people.
Yes.
They get screamed at all day, every day, by agents like us, as well as agents that don't have a clue what they're doing. Yeah. And frankly, the agents that don't have a clue are making things worse.
I agree.
Because you know why? They're calling in and saying the exact same thing over and over again. My buyer is walking. The buyer is walking. This deal's going to foreclosure.
Never heard that one before.
They hear the same thing over and over again. So
you talk about building rapport.
We like to slow it down.
What you're doing is you're basically letting the negotiator at the bank know that you're actually a reputable person that closes short sales and has some experience. Because a negotiator inside the bank can quickly identify in a conversation with somebody if this is their first short sale and they have no clue what they're doing.
I agree.
Or if they actually have an experience level and they're going to be somebody that would be beneficial to work with.
Well, the experience level, and then also as we're talking about building rapport, if you think your standard phone call into a bank, what do they normally say? If I'm calling in right now and I'm calling Bank of America and it rings and you pick up, what's the first things you say?
Thank you for calling Bank of America. Have your account number?
Account number? Well, hold on. You're in Texas? I heard it's storming like crazy in Texas.
Yeah.
That sounds cheesy.
You slowed them down.
Sounds cheesy, but
you got them off the script.
Get them out of the script. Yep. Instead of jumping right to that, okay, get the loan number out of the way.
Yep.
But instead of jumping right to the file and finding out what the notes are, hey, what's going on over there? How's your day going? It's amazing that what some of these people will give you after they know you are a friendly individual and you're not someone that's just about to hit them with the hurry up and give me an answer because the buyer's about to walk.
Yep.
So build rapport. Another thing we really stress pre-escalation is touching a file at a minimum every other day. Banks routinely will say, call us back in 7 to 10 days and we'll have an update. No. If you wait, get out of the short sale business. Touch it every day. Now, what's it mean by touch? Email with a response. Fax something to which they respond to. Call and someone answers the phone and gives you some sort of notes. Touch a file every day. It's human nature, in my opinion, it's human nature. When you get somebody on the phone, particularly a negotiator who's actually working your file, you get them on the phone, they're immediately scrambling. Yeah. Just like if someone calls your office or calls my office and asks you a question.
In the middle of something else.
But you automatically think, can I get this person an answer? Is there something nearby? Is there something going on with their file that I know?
Find it.
Calling them, they may not give you an answer, but it puts it on the top of their mind, so when you call back next time, hopefully they're ready to go.
Yeah, guys, I understand. In fact, tomorrow, I want to talk specifically tomorrow. I may even bring Trent Chapman back into this conversation, or maybe we'll allow Kevin Kauffman to come back in Short Sale Power Hour this week. But tomorrow, I want to talk about some of the stories that we've had with actual negotiators, how many files some of them have assigned to them at one time, how many files they're supposed to decision and or approve, and then I'd like to get your insight. We've got a little bit of experience here. I'd love to hear you and Trent's insight on how some of these negotiators are compensated, how some of the people inside the bank are compensated. That's actually really good stuff to know, because if you can find out what the motivation is for that individual, if they're an hourly employee versus, you know, they're actually a manager that may get compensated, that can change their entire opinion, entire outlook on approving your file and reviewing it.
Oftentimes, I think you could find that information out within the first 5 minutes of talking to them.
Perfect.
Would you agree?
Well, yeah, I would. So, hey, let's come back and talk tomorrow specifically about that and share some stories. And, you know, hey, since you're a well-practiced guy here now, the Short Sale Power Hour, we expect to hear a little bit more enthusiasm from you on this next one. All right, 1, 2, 3. Short Sale Power Hour. Short Sale Power Hour.